You're listening to Playcallers. New episodes dropping every Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. Central Time. Available to stream across all platforms. Also, be sure to check out the Tiger's Den podcast. New episodes dropping every Monday at 3:30 p.m. Central Time. Available to stream across all platforms.
Hello and welcome to Playcallers episode 5. To be making these episodes for you every Saturday morning. We got an amazing college football slate today, not a cloud in the sky, and we're joined by defensive mastermind, linebacker Coach Ferguson. Coach Ferguson, how are you doing on this amazing Saturday morning?
I'm doing great, man. It's always good after a win. Excited for the college football slate today. Huge slate, man, and I appreciate you guys having me on.
So glad to have you this week. What was the mood last night after the big win?
Well, we didn't play a completely sound game on defense. Our offense did a great job producing. I think all in all, it's fun to get a win in front of a huge crowd, especially that homecoming crowd. But, there are definitely some things that we can fix moving forward. We got a huge gauntlet coming up in the next 3 games, so some things to fix. But we, all in all, excited. Always good to get a win. Always good to get a region win.
Yeah, what did it mean to have the whole city of Auburn just backing y'all up the entire game? It must have felt awesome.
Man, it's incredible, in a college town to have that kind of crowd turnout for a high school game. I grew up here, and just the community support here is it's unmatched. Everybody talks about it when they come and play against us, how much we pack out the stadium and how loud the unit is. And just all in all, man, I'm very thankful to be in a place like Auburn.
Yes, sir. Well, we're glad to have you in Auburn. And I actually forgot to introduce my co-hosts, Max Mesman and Reese Kinder. Max, what kind of questions do you have for Coach Ferguson?
Well, good morning, Coach. Amazing win last night, homecoming night, or the night before homecoming, I guess, before the dance. How do you feel like the team handled all of the stuff surrounding it with the pep rally during the day and then the homecoming celebration during halftime? How did the team stay poised and focused throughout the game?
Yeah, I think our guys are very mature. We talk about it as coaches. We have a really good group out there. We don't really have to worry about too many of them. And homecoming's kind of tough for a coach. You have so many distractions, and it's good to be a part of, the parade with the community and then the dance for you guys tonight. There's some things that we worry about, but I think overall our kids handle it really well. I think our guys are very mature in what they do, and they went out. We kind of started off a little slow on defense, got gashed a little bit early, but they responded and stepped up to the call that we gave them at halftime.
Yeah, and I just want to highlight some great players on that linebacker position that you coach so well. Wyatt Trexler coming into last night's game, he was leading the team in tackles on the season with 35. And I just want to ask, how much has a player like Wyatt improved and developed from where he was a year ago?
I mean, he's incredibly improved. I talked to the guys last year. Clark and Coleman told me, that he was going to be a really big player for us, and I believed him. He's very smart. He watches a ton of film. He's just a student of the game, but also just plays his tail off. He played out of position these past 2 games with Ty being out. He's playing at Mike, and I think he stepped up really well. Kind of got caught with his eyes in the wrong place last night a little bit, but he responded, and he's always going to give us 100% effort. And he's just all over the film room, and he's just works really hard in the weight room as well. So he's a guy that I never have to worry about. He's always going to be, doing what he's supposed to do. So, he's all over the field, obviously making all those tackles, and we're really, really blessed to have Wyatt a part of our position group.
Yes, sir. An amazing player. And I wanted to highlight just one more player for you real quick. Number 40, Jace Williams. He's really turned into an all-out playmaker this year. He has a sack and an interception on the season. But I wanted to ask, how important for the linebacker position as well as the defense as a whole, how important is it to get those game-changing or flip plays, not only being able to make them but also being able to make them with consistency and frequently to help the offense?
Well, the importance of those plays can't be overstated. I actually chart those plays really Friday night after the game. I come home and watch a little bit of film, just try to get some film work done before I roll into Saturday. And we call them havoc plays on defense. Those interceptions, quarterback hurries, sacks, tackles for loss, fumbles, all that good stuff. That's something we do focus on as a staff. We're trying to create those havoc plays because once you create it in a drive, you have a very good chance that drive is going to go your way and you're going to get a stop. So we're at least looking for at least a couple of havoc plays per drive. And like you said, Jace has been a guy that's created a couple of those for us this year.
Yeah, I mean, I really like that havoc plays. Those are really important. And then also, I wanted to ask, when it comes to the linebacker position, I feel like it's one of the most like cerebral positions as well as one of the most physical, with all the reads that the linebacker needs to make as well as call out, as well as the split second decisions that they have to make while the play is going on. I wanted to ask, how important as well as challenging is that to coach a player, as well as how important is it like throughout the week to practice that, and how exactly do y'all get that done?
Well, I mean, it starts and finishes with the guys that we have. We are nothing without those guys, and they really take coaching really well. Everybody on our defense is very coachable. I think our position group is very, very coachable. We talked about Wyatt, talked about Jace, DJ Witcher and Andrew Hahn, Ty Hudson when he comes back. All those guys work really hard, and they're very coachable. And like you said, it's a cerebral position. You're the quarterback of the defense. There's a lot going on that you've got to see. And it's just about focusing on our job, trying to do our job. And, anytime you see a linebacker make a mistake, it's usually because he has his eyes in the wrong spot or he's trying to do somebody else's job. And so just trying to get those guys focused on what we need them to do individually in order for our whole defense to work as a whole.
Yeah, and I wanted for injuries as well. You see them a lot in football, and I'd say at the linebacker position, you can also be like very prevalent at the linebacker position. And I wanted to ask, what is the mentality when those unfortunate plays occur? Is it just like next man up, or what exactly is that mentality that y'all have whenever that happens?
Well, it's definitely twofold. For us in that moment, it is, next guy up. And then after the game, we got to talk to those guys, make sure that they're okay. Obviously, this is a game that we're playing. This isn't life or death for anybody out there. And we don't ever want to put anybody in a position that they don't need to be in. And so whenever those injuries do occur, like you said, it happens often at the linebacker position. We want to care about the player first and foremost, man. The wins and losses, that's going to come and go. But it's really about the importance of keeping guys healthy and letting them have fun and play the games they love.
Yes, sir. I really like that. And then my last question for you is not only are you the linebackers coach for the varsity team, but you're also the defensive coordinator for the JV team, which y'all been doing outstanding this year under your leadership. I wanted to ask, how awesome is it to be able to coach not only varsity, but also the junior varsity boys? And then how exactly would you say those two coaching jobs help one another?
Well, yeah, our teams are combined and we all practice together. And so, it gives me an opportunity to see the younger guys, see what we have, where we need to develop more, and just kind of experiment and do some different things in our JV games. We run the same things in our JV games on Monday that we're going to run on Friday night. I just try to get those guys used to the fast pace and the amount of calls that we have, just so they're ready to roll. So it's a blessing, man, to be at such a young age and given so much by this staff, by Coach Etheridge and Coach Goolsby. I have nothing but great things to say about both of those guys. They mean the world to me, and they've given me a lot of opportunities, and I'm very, very thankful and very blessed.
Yes, sir. And now I'm going to send you to my other co-host, Reese Kinder. Reese, what questions do you have for Coach Ferguson today?
Good morning, Coach. Great win last night. So I heard you earlier say that you weren't too impressed with things on defense last night. What weren't you impressed with?
Well, they kind of got us a little early. They're running a little GT concept and, kind of getting our eyes in the wrong spot. They were trying to influence us with the offensive line, and their quarterback's a great player. We knew that going into the game. Him and their two running backs are really good players, and, they kind of got us on some things there. Our guys at linebacker are really good at flowing, and they're very quick to the ball, so they're just kind of trying to false influence us with the O-line. And, if we would have got our eyes in the right spot, those plays wouldn't have been as big as they were. But, it's something that we can, fix and handle after a win. It's a lot easier to get those things right after a win than it is a loss.
Yeah. So what are y'all going to work on in practice this week going into a big Ramsey game up in Birmingham?
That Ramsey team's talented, man. That quarterback is, he's going to play at the next level, and they've got some receivers that'll play at the next level as well. It's going to be about doing our job and getting our eyes in the right spot. I truly believe that our guys are some of the best players in the state if they do their job. If we try to do everybody else's job, that's kind of when we get ourselves in trouble. But when we get on our eyes on our key and really focus on what our job is, I mean, that group is dangerous. I'll tell you that.
How do you like your linebacker room? You know, we got a lot of linebackers on this team and very good linebackers. How's this linebacker room settling?
Oh man, they're great. Like I said before, man, they're very coachable. I'm very thankful to be a part of that group. You know, Coach Goolsby and I are both doing it together, and also Coach Smith. And so just getting to collaborate with those guys and coachable is the main thing, you know, and they work hard. I mean, in everything that they do on and off the field. So we don't have any problems that we have to focus on off the field, which really, really helps us just focus on the little things as a coaching staff.
And my last question is, so what's your relationship with all the coaches on the team? Like, I know you guys probably hang out with each other on the weekends sometimes, and also you guys are in practice together. Just what's the relationship with all these coaches?
Yeah, thankfully I've known a good amount of our staff for a long time growing up here. You know, Coach Goolsby, Coach Bagwell, Coach Johnson, Coach Kitchens. I've known these guys for a while, and so it's fun to be around those guys still. You know, as a student before, and then coming back as a coach has been great. And then all these guys that came in with Coach Etheridge, man, we gel really well. Those are great guys, and we all hold the same values. You know, so it's easy to get along with those guys. And then like Coach Hall has become one of my best friends in the world. We have a great time just talking ball. And, you know, just really enjoying life together.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, we see it in our documentary on AHS Mass Media that y'all are such a close-knit group, the players and the coaches. And I want to ask you, I asked Coach episode 1, actually, what is your relationship with the players? Do you try to be more of a mentor or more of like a stern guy, like do this? Like, what is your mentality on your relationship with your players?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm the most stern person in the world. That's just not my personality. You know, I'm not going to try to be all buddy with them, but I'm also going to pick them up when they're down, that kind of thing. So just balancing that out, you know, and that is tough as a young guy. I mean, I'm only 22 years old. I'm 4 years older than some of the guys on the team, you know. So
yeah,
it's interesting position to be in, but I'm, you know, very thankful for them. I don't really go out there and try to be stern and demand respect or anything like that. I try to build the relationship first with those guys. And I think we've done a good job of just coming together and understanding where I'm coming from. And nobody really on the team has really bucked that. So I'm very, very thankful for that.
Yeah, you talked about Coach Smith a little bit earlier. He actually called you one of the best young coaches. So what is your relationship with Coach Smith? How close are y'all?
Oh, we're very close. He's actually my next door neighbor. He lives right across the street from me. And so, Coach Smith works really hard with our linebackers and also with our special teams. He does a great job. And I'm thankful for those words, man. They mean a lot to me, but I try to just, you know, stay focused on the little things every single day and just being a better coach and being a better husband, a better everything each and every day, man.
That's awesome.
Yes, sir. That's really special. So I have one last question. We usually ask this every single week when we interview a coach from the. What does the city of Auburn mean to you specifically?
Yeah, man, I moved here going into the 6th grade. So I've been here for a little over a decade now. I spent some time at Troy as a student coach there, but ultimately decided to come back home. Coach Goolsby gave me a great opportunity here that I really wanted to be a part of. Auburn means the world to me. When I moved here, it was kind of a difficult situation with me and my family. I grew up in a really small town, and so I wasn't used to the big city life in a way. You know, I wasn't ready for all those kids in my class. You know, but I'm very thankful for Auburn. You know, I think it's a perfect representation as you get out what you put in, and if you love Auburn, it's definitely going to love you back.
Yes, sir. Well, we're super glad to have you in Auburn right now, and we hope you never leave.
Well, I appreciate that, man.
All right, Max, Reese, do y'all have any more questions for Coach Ferguson this morning?
No, sir, but thank you, Coach. I mean, that's some real words spoken from the heart. You know, we heard that from Coach Cadillac. Remember last year, Auburn University. He's also like an Auburn man. And Coach Oliver, as well as all the coaches, we asked that question. You know, like if you all love Auburn, Auburn will love you back. You know, as somebody who's always lived in Auburn as well, basically all my life, I can guarantee those words are facts as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have other questions, but yeah, Auburn's an amazing place.
All right. Well, if we're all good, Coach Ferguson, is there anything you want to say to the fans or anything?
No, I mean, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate y'all letting me come on today. Y'all keep chasing the dream that you guys have. I keep working at it. I know it's tough to get on here and record your voice and put it out for everybody to hear. I kind of did a podcast back when I was in high school, and so I'm proud of you guys, proud of what y'all are doing. If y'all ever need anything from me, man, just please reach out, and I'll be glad to help you out.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, that's going to do it for Playcallers episode. We specifically thank Coach Ferguson for joining us this Saturday morning, and we hope you have a great weekend, and we wish y'all luck against Ramsey next Friday.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you so much, Coach. Don't go away, anybody, because actually we still have sideline interviews. Reese, I know you got some during the game last night. Who exactly did you interview, and what will we be listening to in a second?
We will be listening to interviews from Keionte Scott. He plays for the university team. And we'll also be listening to homecoming queen Trinity Pritchett. And we will be listening to Coach Etheridge at halftime and postgame, and Coach Smith at halftime. So I hope you enjoy.
I'm here with DB for Auburn University, Keionte Scott. Sadly, he was injured. He got injured, and he's out for the season with an ankle injury. Keionte, what's some motivation going into next season for being on this ankle injury, and how are you going to bounce back?
It's just exciting, to not have a timetable on an injury and just basically be all on me and how I progress. So it's just exciting to be able to, challenge myself mentally, physically, and spiritually on how I handle my treatment and how I go about things throughout this process. So I'm just excited, and I can't wait to get back out there.
Yeah, tell me how Coach Freeze is done in practice and how good of a guy he is.
Yeah, Coach Freeze has done a good job with the program, man. I mean, since the first day he got there, he's worked to gain our trust and build connections, and he's definitely done that. I mean, we all really enjoy him as a head coach, and we're glad he's our leader.
What are you telling these younger guys that are just coming into the program or they're getting recruited by the program? What are you telling them, like on the group chats or messages that you guys have? What are you telling them, like motivation for next season if they ever decide to commit or come to Auburn?
Just to keep going, you go from a situation where, you're highly recruited and highly rated, and you go to a situation where you're in a room full of guys that were just, as recruited as highly as you. So it's just a situation where it's just a humbling experience. And for them to just don't lose pride and don't lose their confidence, because when their time comes, they should be ready.
Thanks for the interview, and I hope you recover soon. I'm expecting a full recovery, and hope to see you next season. Hey, Coach, I have two quick questions.
Yeah.
How do you think the offense did in the first half?
I think we look good offensively. We still gotta finish drives. We got two good field goals right there at the end. I'd like to end it with touchdowns, but we'll take Towns kicking some field goals.
Yeah. What are y'all gonna do in the second half to improve the offense and maybe run this game, run Percy Julian out of town?
Well, we gotta continue playing good defense. They got us on back some weak side counter stuff that we gotta fix. So as soon as we fix that stuff, we should be okay.
All right, thanks, Coach. See you at the end of the game.
Appreciate you, bro.
How do you feel the special teams did in the first half?
Well, I feel like we played pretty good. Just going full speed.
Yeah.
That's the only thing right now. Sometimes you don't want to slow down to your opponent. You want to keep full speed, keep the basic fundamentals, and just keep playing.
In the second half, when we get stopped on the third and longs, are we looking to see Towns maybe kick some long field goals possibly if we're in field goal position?
Well, we've been trying to, so we just got the opportunity. Just got to come. If it presents itself, then we'll go from there. So,
all right,
yes, sir, it's a good possibility.
All right, thanks, Coach. Have a good second half. I'm here with Trinity Pritchett, homecoming queen. How does it feel to become a homecoming queen this year?
It honestly feels amazing. I'm just so glad that I had all this support. I just want to thank everybody.
What's your emotions right now, especially with your family being here and everybody just supporting you and everybody loves you?
I was definitely overwhelmed at the beginning, but now I just feel so loved and I'm just so excited.
What's a few big moments that led up to this amazing moment this year?
Honestly, I would say all of my friends supporting me and encouraging me and telling me I could do it, so that really helped.
Thanks for the interview.
Thank you so much.
Coach, good win for homecoming. A lot of people in the stands tonight. Auburn crowd really showed out. How do you feel like you guys did this game?
I think we did well. We didn't turn the ball over. Played well. Had some good. Had a lot of guys touch the ball. Just super excited about this win.
Yeah. If you watched AHS Countdown tonight, I predicted that we would throw the ball long, and that's what you guys did. I was really hoping to see some deep passes thrown, and I just wanted to see the receivers get some action.
Yeah, they did. They got a lot of action tonight. Ian Nation made some big catches. Henry put it out there, let him go get it. And we're getting better and better at that. I think that in the next few weeks you'll see that even get better. And we got a big stretch right here. 3 or 4 games that are some tough ones. So we got to put our nose to the grindstone and just get better every week.
Well, I know the quarterback situation, with Jackson getting injured and all that. I know these 2 games are really helpful, especially playing Percy Julian and Jag, to get the quarterback some experience. What is that like for some of these young guys?
Well, young guys did good. Both the 10th graders played, and I think Dooley came in at the end and put it on the knee for us, and I think that Henry played great. He's getting better, recognizing defenses and throwing the ball. But it ain't his first rodeo. He's played before. He knows what he's doing. So he's a Division I athlete. So he's going to make plays when he's in there.
How do you feel like your defense did tonight?
They played great.
13 points only given up, and last week 0 points given up. That's 2 good weeks in a row. Just holding teams to low scoring.
We've played great defensively all year. So we just got to continue to do that. We got to continue to do that and just keep grinding.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see you in the Central game.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
I'm here with running back Ian Nation. Ian, how do you feel like you did tonight? Wide receiver. My bad. How do you feel like you did tonight?
I did good for the touches that I got. I just want my guys to succeed tonight, and that's what they did.
That's what I was talking about with Coach Etheridge. I wanted to see the receivers get more involved, and I was glad to see you get involved in the game. And these deep balls, very good passes by the quarterback. How do you like the quarterback situation here?
I feel like Henry has adjusted really well for his first time being out here for a little bit. But he's just getting better at reading defenses and making better passes.
Thanks, Ian.
All right.
Wow, those were some really good interviews, Reese. Great job of getting them. And now that's going to do it for Playcallers episode 5. Be sure to, rate the show 5 stars, follow up if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And then come back next week where we got a great show for you with Coach Jeremiah Kitchens.
Thanks for listening to this week's edition of Playcallers. Be sure to check out our episodes dropping every Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. Central. Also be sure to check out our other podcast, The Tiger's Den, where we dive into the world of sports. Be sure to check out those episodes coming out every Monday at 3:30 p.m. Central. Thanks for listening.